So this story is what a journalist told me. It's about an English girl working for an English NGO in Chad, helping out with the Darfur crisis. So I guess I'll read the notes that I took on a bar napkin, more or less. The journalist is a war correspondent, or whatever they're called. I guess you could call them voyeurs or gore seekers. He was covering the Janjaweed murders as they pillaged their way around Darfur, northern Sudan, and eastern Chad. He met an English girl about 24 years old working for a British medical NGO in the area. In fact, you could not call her an aid worker because she had never been one. Her job was to support aid workers in the field with whatever administrative issues they were having. She was also somehow given some managerial duties overseeing the field workers, even though she had no experience whatsoever in the field as an aid worker. She was just a traveling bureaucrat for the headquarters in London. She had scheduled a meeting with the governor, the government appointed in a rebel region, and invited the journalist to accompany her. He agreed and went along because he was curious how she was going to handle herself. He had been in the region for years, so he knew the people already. She wore jeans and did not bother covering her head in this Muslim area. The guards waved her through, and she passed armed soldiers posted outside the governor's door. The door was ajar, the signal for us to enter. And remember, we had already gone by the 2 checkpoints of soldiers. Instead of knocking or walking in, she stood outside the door, bent from the waist, and stuck her head in through the door and asked if it was all right to go in. She was sticking her ass out at the soldiers, who were all staring at her ass and legs. The journalist looked at the soldiers and exchanged glances. What a dumb bitch. The journalist said the meeting was just as stupid because a 24-year-old English girl had no experience or formal training whatsoever. She was just a 24-year-old from London that didn't know anything and didn't even know enough to cover her ass and her face in a Muslim region. Now there you go. That's pretty funny in my book, but you decide.